All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to one of our author interviews with Space Wizard. This is our year five campaign. I am surprised we have had this many campaigns, but we have. This is actually a second campaign this year. So I will let CJ introduce themselves.
Yeah. Hi, I'm CJ Beshara, and I'm in the Space Wizard Year 5 campaign with my debut novel, Lucianus.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about it, just to pique the interest.
Well, it's about a wizard. He used to not be such a good guy in his life, but he's dead already. Except now he's back because some very mysterious magic has compelled him to return to life and complete a very dangerous task. And the catch here is that he's not going to be around for very long either way, because once he completes the task, he's just going to be dead again. So he has a very brief time to spend in our fantastic magical fantasy world that he used to know once upon a time.
Yeah.
And he makes friends and has wonderful adventures along the way.
Yeah. That's really what caught me with this book. This was from Small Pitch, right?
Yes, which,
Yes.
by the way, I was remembering the pitch that I submitted for that recently when I was writing the acknowledgments, and I was like, "Wow, that was a terrible pitch. I don't know, I don't know what happened there, but glad I slipped through the cracks."
Yeah, that one. Well, it caught my interest because it was reincarnated wizard back to life, and it was just so fun. Um, and I really love, and I read like the first chapter, and I'm like, yeah, just send me the rest. Because the you have this great aesthetic with its like obviously a fantasy world, but you have these just stupid wizard spell names that like overblown over the top stuff. And I just love those. I actually had I think we've sold or given away, but I used to have a card game. Oh man, I don't remember. It was like Magical Duel at the top of Spell Mountain, some overblown name, but you'd have
Right.
three cards and you put them together and it'd be like Mr. Murloc's Magical Whimsy Fireball
Yeah.
spell. And so I love the way those spell names uh got put into the book.
Yeah, that I felt like the book needed that sort of whimsical touch, because I feel like the actual storytelling and writing is a little bit more serious at times, a
Mhm.
little bit more introspective, but it has that nice sort of sprinkling on top to keep it fun.
Yeah, it actually has a lot of humor in it, and it's a lot of very light, sort of almost cozy touches for being
Yeah, for sure.
such a I guess morbid subject with dead wizard that's gonna be dead again, and yeah. Um, but yeah, that's part of what drew me that it's got a very nice touch. It's very easy to read, and yeah, well, and you all will get to read it fairly soon because this is going to be the first one coming out from this campaign. So this will be releasing in June. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, and we will hopefully have maybe a sketch or something to show off with this one. I will see. If not, we'll get it to you pretty soon.
Yeah.
Um, but we're both, I think, excited about this. We saw some sketches recently for this one, and I'm looking forward to getting the cover out. Uh,
Yeah. Should be beautiful. Should be beautiful.
yeah. So I guess tell me a little bit about like where this came from, or how did this come into to be a book?
That is the question, isn't it? Well, I'm one of those people that was writing their whole lives, basically. Or at least, though I had never managed to finish anything, of course, I never quite rid myself of the compulsion to keep trying. So I did reach a certain point where I said, okay, I went to my significant other and I was like, okay, I would like a year
Mhm.
to try to pursue writing seriously. And I did, but the book that I was trying to write at that time was not Lucianus.
Uh,
And that did not work. And then one year became two and became three, and it was really starting to look like this is not going to happen.
yeah.
Um, and then I had a different idea, but at this point I was so sort of beaten down by the failure process that I just sat on it. I just waited. I was like, nah, it's not going to happen. I'm not even going to bother
Mhm.
trying. but the idea kept cooking and it kept putting itself together. And I finally deluded myself into thinking, you know what? I think actually the whole book is there. I think it's all in there and I think I can get it all out. And then there it was.
Yeah,
It just happened.
awesome. So so it sounds like it's been permutating for a while in the background and then just sort of
Yeah,
had to get out on the
I
page.
let it cook.
Yeah.
I am not gonna lie, there's a number of influences. I was playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 around the
Hmm.
time that I was writing this book.
Yep.
So if
Yep.
a little bit of that snuck in there, my bad. Um there's uh uh yeah, I talk about it in the acknowledgments a little bit, but there's a number of TV shows and other books that sort of slithered their way in there. The cozy vibes from Tolkien
Yeah.
kind of made their way in, despite the fact that I don't think it's a particularly Tolkien-esque fantasy, but
Hmm.
some of those some of those vibes definitely got in there for sure.
Yeah. It's very much the sort of journey across the land, and we get to I really like from this one also we get to see the villages and the towns and the people and sort of this whole society, which um, oddly enough, I think on Reddit like today or yesterday, somebody was talking about that because Tolkien comes up every once in a while, our fantasy that I peruse. And they were talking about like why does nobody describe environments and trees anymore? And they brought up Tolkien, and I'm like, well, yeah, because no one has to read 500 pages about trees anymore. But I think this captures a lot of that, and you really see the landscape and the villages as they travel.
Yeah, that's one of the things that one of my beta readers brought up that I didn't think about at all until she said it to me. She said, "I sometimes feel like the land is a character in your book," and
Hmm.
I was like, I hadn't thought about it that way, but I know what you mean, and I definitely did get a little bit not to a Tolkien level, but a little bit
Hmm.
stuck in the in the scenery and stuff at times. Um, yeah, and I do think it's yeah, it's just a nice adventure fantasy, and we don't
Yeah,
always get a ton of those anymore, you know.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
it's a very diverse genre these days,
Hmm.
and that's a good thing.
Yeah,
But sometimes I like to dabble in the stuff we used to get all the time.
yeah. Well, and yeah, I guess it's interesting. This is both sort of a very old style fantasy, but also something very new. And I would say, it's very, very much an indie book.
Mhm.
Um, Not something you're going to see from traditional publishers anytime soon. Um,
Right. Yeah.
but
Even just the fact that, oh yeah, he's gay and it's just sort of a casual thing that it just is in the world. He just
right,
is gay.
yeah,
You don't really, even now, you don't really see that all the time.
no. And I was going to say, I love that it's queer normative even back in history because this wizard's been dead and it's coming back to life. So obviously we get to learn a little bit about history of when he was alive and how that's different from now. That was another thing I really loved about this book is you actually show like some differences in speech and how the land has changed and how the history has changed. Um, so it's the sort of world builder in me loves that,
Yeah.
to see that.
Yeah, I was that was quite important to me while I was writing it. I feel like sometimes fantasy worlds can be a little bit static, and I not to an extreme, but I definitely, as they travel through the world, our main man is consistently pointing out, like, wait a second, I know that didn't
Yeah.
used to look like that, but I know what that is.
Yeah.
Or he's seeing things and he's like, oh, that's not how people used to dress, or
Hmm.
things like that.
Yeah. Yes, I really like that. I really enjoy the story. I think you all watching this will really enjoy this story. Um, and fortunately, it seems like this is probably not the end of
No, no.
it.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
Some things may be continuing to cook along the way here, so we'll see where it goes.
yes. And I usually ask authors to give a little bit about the second book, but I don't know if you can really say anything without spoiling this one.
Yeah,
Um,
there would be some pretty major spoilerinos on that, so I think we'll
yeah.
just let people find that out.
Yep. Suffice to say, there is potential for series with this. You will have to keep your eye on Space Wizard in the coming years to see how that works. Um, so I guess similar to that, you have anything else you're working on? Any other types of stories, or is this the only thing bouncing around in your brain right now?
Well, this is definitely the priority for sure. I do have other stories that are in the works too. They are a little bit less nice though, so we will maybe not talk about them uh, in uh, in this particular juncture.
All right. Less nice books. So you can, if you like there's a couple actually pretty graphic parts in this book. So
A little bit,
a
yeah.
couple, yeah. So I guess if you enjoy those when you read this, maybe check out other things coming later.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any other fun tidbits, tips, trivia, Easter eggs, anything you want to leave us with?
Um, Well, I just want to say that I'm really excited to be able to finally share this book. It has been quote unquote done for quite some time, and I've been sitting on it, and I have a couple of people that have really been championing this book and been really excited for it to finally come out. And I'm just happy to finally be able to talk about it and share it with people because I really do think there's some folks out there who are really gonna love this.
Yeah. Oh, I think so too. I pick all the books from Space Wizard that I know they're gonna sell. And yours actually to your point about this being done, this was probably the cleanest one that I had seen in a while. You sent it to me and I was like, yeah, this seems good. And then you're like, well, there's these all these changes I'm gonna make to it. I'm like, it's pretty good, I
Yeah,
thought.
you're like, are you sure? Because, and I'm like, no, 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 no. I swear, it's nothing huge, just these things.
Yeah. But yeah, and I did the developmental edit, which I usually do on it, and send it back. And you had some changes. We had some good discussion on that. There was some back and forth on how this affected the history and what things you wanted to see. And so yeah, it's definitely were a few changes to it, but I think pretty subtle.
Yeah,
Overall,
the
this was
base story has always been the same. Although I will say the original draft was only, I want to say it was 57,000 words
hmm,
first.
okay.
Um, and then I think the draft that people actually read was closer to 70. And then
Yeah,
it,
this
because
was
I'm finding that because my first drafts are usually pretty abbreviated, I do
mhm,
tend to, the things grow
yeah.
as they get edited.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've transitioned to that as a writer because I used to start very large and cut down, and then I wrote a
Mhm.
lot of short stories, and now I do that as I will write to like 65,000 words and then sort of expand it to 75 or 80 with the next draft. Uh,
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, I have found that it helps me actually finish things if I don't let myself get stuck on stuff and I just keep going, just keep
yeah,
going, even if it's bad, keep going.
yep. Get to the end of the story. That's why I tell authors who talk to me, who come up to my booths, is like, oh, I will have, I want to be a writer. I'm like, have you finished a book? Go finish a book. Come back
Yeah.
and talk to me.
Finish a book, even if it's bad, doesn't
Yep.
matter. Just get to the end.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, I am very much looking forward to the cover for Lucianus and to get it out into the world. And again, we may have a cover here. We may have it a little bit later. So if I don't have it below this video, then check out. We should have it definitely by the time we start the campaign at the end
Yes.
of May. All right. Well, it has been a pleasure talking to you, and we'll let all our readers enjoy this video, and we'll see you in the campaign during June. All right.
Hey, everyone.
Bye.